fun to work with you. I've been living the law of attraction for probably ever since I was in my 20s. I didn't even know I was doing it then, just something I naturally did. So then now it's become a field of study. There are books out by everybody. Everybody and their uncle has a website on it. And yet a lot of people are using it and still not achieving the goals they want. So we're going to take a look at what is it that's blocking us. What are some of the unexercised pieces of the technology that need to be focused on. I love this. It says, this life is a test. It is only a test. If it had been an actual life, you would have received further instructions on where to go and what to do. That was a sign that I saw on a person's cubicle in a company that I worked with. And so I thought that's pretty accurate. You know, most of us don't have a guidebook about how to live the perfect life. We weren't born with an operator's manual. You know, your VCR has more instructions in it than most of us got growing up. And when you look at your life and you think about what you learned in school, most of what we learned in school we never used. It means when the last time you quoted the 5 causes of the Civil War to anybody, you know? That never happened. And yet only about 3% of kids going to school in America ever learn about setting goals, how to control their own mood states and emotional states, learning about universal principles and laws and relationships, communication skills, values, ethics, the things that really matter in our life. So what happens is a lot of people, they're doing a lot of it, but it's not working. And one of the reasons is because they're sitting there visualizing and thinking it's all going to work. They just have to have a good feeling, create a vibrational match, ask, believe, receive, and sit in their bedroom and a Cadillac will show up in their garage, you know? And unless you live at the bottom of a hill, like where a T is, you know, it's not likely. And so there's that. And the other thing that's stopping people is that they're not addressing the unconscious limiting beliefs that are below the threshold of awareness that are stopping you. So we're going to take a look tonight about how to deal with both of those issues. But let's go ahead and talk about this. If you could, would you rather take the short route or the long route to success? Short route. That make sense? Yeah. So wouldn't it make sense just to do that? You know, turbo mouse, just like go right for the cheese. Because too many of us, literally, we get lost in the maze. You know, we're not clear. We get stuck. We just go down cul-de-sacs. We just want to be able to go straight to it. And what I've devoted my life to, literally the last 33 years, since I met W. Clement Stone, who was my mentor, who introduced me to the law of attraction, although at that time he called it the power of positive thinking and the power of positive expectancy. What happened was I've really been intrigued with how do you go faster, further, with less effort. And what we're going to share tonight is the mental aspect of doing that. How can we go where we want to go further without expending as much effort? Now, that doesn't mean no action. Remember we said action? But action that you enjoy, action that's fun, action that goes like, wow, this is really cool. I get to do this. Amazing. I mean, I get to stand here and talk to you about things I care about and get paid ridiculous amounts of money and make a DVD that other people that couldn't get here will get to see and pay me money for and have their life changed and then get hundreds of letters a week about you changed my life. That's fun. All right. So, again, whatever you think about, talk about, fantasize about, give your attention to, and feel deeply about, you are going to attract more into your life. The more deeply you feel about it, the more adamantly you're going to attract it. So, one of the principles I want to talk to you about, I talked a little about this earlier today with some of you, but I want to just remind us that you must take 100% responsibility for your life. Law of attraction basically says you're setting it up, you're creating it. And so you can act like you're not, but it's still going to work. If you don't believe in gravity, I don't believe in gravity. Have you ever known anyone that didn't believe in gravity and jumped off a building and floated? I mean, the law is working whether you believe in it or not. Okay? So it's really not important you believe in it. It's important you understand it and cooperate with it so you can create more of what you want in your life. So that requires that you're going to give up blaming and complaining about other people creating your life. Law of attraction basically states that everything in your life you've attracted. Nobody else can interfere with that attraction. You can't blame it on your, if only my wife were more this, then I would attract more of this into my life. Now, we do know this from the work of Dr. John Hagelin, who you may have seen in the movie The Secret Also. He's a physicist, Harvard trained. He's published many, many articles in what they call juried articles, where people, you know, other physicists read them and review them, and he's a very, very respected physicist. And he's now hypothecating that the force field that you create when you're thinking and intending and feeling strongly about something, like you have an intention, for world peace, or for being a millionaire, or for stopping hunger in your county, or housing humanity through Habitat for Humanity, whatever it might be your intention is, that the force field created by that, what one of my friends, Zendebruck, calls the attractor field that you create, is the square of the number of people having the same intention at the same time. Now think about that. If I'm intending for me to be healthy, that's one person. If the two of us are intending that, my doctor and myself, or my wife and myself, and we're holding that intention in a meditation or a prayer group at that same time, so it's people, same intention at the same time, now we have a force field of 4, because the square of 2 is 4. If the 3 of us were doing it, it's a force field of 9. 100, it's a force field of 10,000. This is why prayer groups, which there's been so much research about group healing, and Larry Dossey's work you can read. Basically, what happens is that you get a whole bunch of people holding the same intention at the same time, and it can, in fact, have a huge impact.